Today is day number 26. I am now walking out of Erwin. We got a shuttle from the Super 8 back to the trail. Yesterday we did not have that luck. We actually tried to hitch into Erwin, but we did not have any luck trying to get in, so we basically had to walk the entire way, which was an extra 4 miles that day, which wasn't fun, but we got there. But anyway, so we got a shuttle back for only $7. Should have done that going in. But yeah, today it's going to be about 16, 17 miles getting to Cherry something shelter. Yeah, so should be a little bit of an uphill today out of town, but shouldn't be too bad. Looking forward to it. Hiking in this cool mossy forest right now. A little bit of a change of scenery from the usual fall, no leaves. So it's pretty neat with all the moss on the ground. Still going up this, it's about 5,200 feet from about 1,700 feet in Erwin, so it's been a bit of a climb today. But nothing too bad, nothing out of the ordinary. Doing pretty good. Probably another 4 hours to campsite. That's it. Figured I'd record more of this forest since this is kind of pretty neat. There's almost no path here, just kind of following the blazes on the trees, which is a little change of pace, but it's pretty cool. It's a neat campsite over there. The miles worked out, I might camp in here, but I hear it could be bear infested according to the GoHooks app comments. Not sure how accurate that is. I do not see any bears, but you never know. But yeah, this is pretty neat. I think this might be close to the exit here. Cool little clearing. Anyway, I won't bore you with walking through the woods, but just thought that was neat. Okay, so we found this really cool tenting spot. This is actually a apple orchard, and apparently you can pick apples here during apple season. It's Cliff down there. He's setting up his tent. I think I'll show you guys how I set up my tent today. Give me 1 second. Okay, so got my tent, got my poles, and got some stakes. So the first thing I do is pull my tent out of this stuff sack. I found this relatively level ground right here. So pull this out. Okay. And then I have my freestanding tent poles, which I will take out. Just open these guys up. And last one. Then I feed them through the correct guides on my tent. Does a crisscross pattern, one for each side. And then there are rings in the apex of each side that I popped the poles into. For one side. Once I get those poles in, and I put them in the edges here. The last one. And then I can, since at this point it's freestanding, I can kind of reposition it a bit. Get it to kind of where I want it. Then once I have that set, then I can stake out the vestibules. These I can adjust a little bit. And stake out the reverse vestibule. And then there you have it. If it was a little bit of a windier night, I would probably stake out the corners, but I don't think it'll be windy, so. And the tent in there, and that is, what is that? Okay, today for dinner, I'm going to be eating a wrap with basically a bunch of salami on it. Should be good. Here it is, all up in its wrap form. We don't get fancy out here. Today is day 27, and I'm at the top of, not at the top, but at this neat lookout here. Today's goal is to get to the shelter that looks like a barn, or that was made out of a old barn. It'd be pretty neat to stay in there, plus it's supposed to rain tonight, so it'd be a good place to stay. So make for about a 20-mile day, same as yesterday, which hasn't been too bad yet. But we'll be going up Roan Mountain, which is pretty high, has the highest shelter on the AT. So it's kind of the plan for today. There is a chimney in the trail right here, just sitting in the middle of the trail. I assume this is part of the Cloudlands Hotel. I didn't show you that part, but apparently there was a big old hotel up here called Cloudlands. Right now I'm at about 6,100 feet. Just climbed Roan Mountain. Yeah, it's pretty neat up here, including that random chimney fireplace. So this has pretty good views of the sea, which I otherwise very cool 360-degree view here. It's very windy. It's also a Saturday, so it's very touristy up here, but otherwise very cool. This is pretty neat up here, where you can see where the trail goes up the mountain. And I assume it continues on down here, but we will find out. So this is the barn that's been converted into a shelter. See if we can get a spot here tonight. See how many people are in here. Looks pretty cool. It is day 28 at about 11 o'clock a.m. and boy was this morning miserable. The stay in the barn last night was pretty neat, but there were a ton of people there. A whole like 30 kid Boy Scout group showed up, and yeah, so it was pretty packed in there, but it wasn't too bad. I got good sleep, and it was pretty neat to stay in the barn. I think it was Over Mountain Shelter. Anyway, today, yeah, so it started raining this morning about 8 a.m. and right after Over Mountain Shelter, there is a bunch of fields, balds, I'm not sure what you'd call them, that you go over, but it was pouring down rain, probably 30-mile-per-hour winds at least, just getting absolutely pelted. It was one of those days where I'm questioning life decisions to come out here, but it was definitely an experience. The rain just trailed off enough for me to make this video, but yeah, that was fairly intense. I'm not sure I would do that again. It may have, if I were going to do that again, I would wait it out, or I'm not sure what I'd do, but yeah, that was pretty intense. So today's goal, some of the guys, Squawk, Root, and Sprout, want to push for a big day today. And also Script, they want to go for a 27-28 mile day to make it a shorter day into Hampton, Tennessee tomorrow. Not sure I want to push a long day like that, but terrain wise, or at least elevation gain wise, it shouldn't be too bad, but I don't know, we'll see. I'm not sure there's enough hours in the day yet to pull a 27-28 mile day. I'm going to go to the shelter at about 18 miles, see how I feel, see if it's still raining, because right now I am absolutely soaked. My pants are soaked through, underwear, everything. I think this jacket might have soaked through. I think these rain jackets soaked through at some point, and that might have happened this morning. Yeah, my rain mittens, they soaked through. Everything soaked through, so I'm pretty much wet, which I've kind of come to accept. But if I want to make it a long day, it's going to be a long night to dry out, so we'll see. If it stays stopped, if the rain has stopped for today, hopefully I can dry out throughout the day, and then maybe I'll think about a long day, but otherwise, probably not. Anyway, this has been long enough, so I'll let you know later on what I do. Just walking along this, looks like a old road, but cool grass path. It's interesting because this is the first time I think I've seen any kind of ground cover or anything start blooming. I think for spring is truly finally here when you start seeing stuff start blooming, which is nice. Still probably maybe about a half a month at least until we get a little bit of a tree cover, but it's still nice to see some of this ground stuff come up. Felt a little bit too much like winter. But yeah, today turned sunny and beautiful. Who knew from that craziness from this morning? Starting to dry out, which is good. I think today I might only do about 20 miles to the to a campsite. Be nice just to relax, not have to push it for a big mileage day. But other than that, it's what's going on. Today is day 29. We stayed at a campsite last night. Don't remember the name of it, but it's about 18 point something miles, 19 miles yesterday. Today's goal is to get to Hampton, Tennessee, where we're gonna stay at the Castle Hostel. I'm not sure. It looks like a castle, but it's got a cool name, so that's where we're staying. It's right in Hampton. There's a couple of hostels outside of Hampton, but I'd rather stay in town. So that's the goal for today. So I had to film this. This is the first bench I've seen on the Appalachian Trail. And it's looking over. Pretty cool view up there. But yeah, I'm not sure if it's bench worthy, but it's interesting. First bench I've seen on the AT. So I'm at Laurel Falls. There's a cool river here, but there's also this pretty neat rock face. Anyway, I'm heading into Hampton, Tennessee. I'm gonna take the 1 mile side trail to get me there. So that's gonna add an extra mile today and an extra mile tomorrow, but I think it's easier than trying to hitch a ride from the road. Here are the Laurel Falls. They seem pretty cool. The trail continues up that way. Came from all the way up there. But yeah, pretty cool waterfalls. Pretty neat little section here where I'm actually walking along the river, skirting this rock face here. Pretty neat. We just got back from our resupply with Brown Bear and Cliff. And tonight we're staying in the Castle. Do you remember what the first name was? It was something Castle Hostel. And I think they built it from bricks from, there's a castle in Scotland.
Braemar.
Yeah.
Braemar.
Braemar?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Braemar Castle in Scotland
the lumber company built it a long time ago.
Yep, in Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh Lumber Company. Yeah, so this is the hostel we're staying in tonight. It's pretty neat. Inside of the hostel. This little common area here. And this is the room I'm staying in. It's basic, but it'll be a nice place to sleep tonight.